So in this video, I'd like to show you how ground-based exploration works in Starfield. And I think it's pretty cool. Okay, also this video is completely spoiler-free. So we are in the Anarian system, which is at the start of the game. Okay, I selected Crete. And then I picked the random landing zone. Okay, now, then I got out the ship, and there was a point of interest right next to my ship, about 500 meters away. And that didn't feel very special. It just felt like, okay, the game generates some place directly where you land. However, now let's take a look to the left. Notice how beautiful this looks. We have this man-made structure in the distance, just carved into a landscape like this. Also, the game rewarded me for walking up a hill and checking for myself what's in the distance, instead of just following the close quest marker. I think this makes the large-scale ground exploration, I think, fun, because in Fallout 4, what I'd like to do is, at the beginning of the game, I would climb on these highway overpasses and just look at the city and look at interesting things in the distance, and then walk towards it. Also, here's how the point of interest marker system works. Now, notice here, now I can't see it probably. Notice there's two dots on the compass, the little gray one and the one that looks like a mountain. Okay, now if I use the scanner, notice here, the little gray one is that thing that's 700 meters away. And it doesn't actually show you what it is, just a small dot. And on the cave that's 400 meters away, you actually see the icon that looks like a mountain. Okay, so the game already staggers the amount of information it gives you right away. And I think that's a good thing, because the game shouldn't give you too much information what's on the horizon. You should feel your way towards it. And notice there's a third point of interest. See that thing over here? That doesn't show up on any marker. It's not on the compass. If you open map, it's not there, and it's not on the scanner that I got to open. And I basically found that thing by climbing up a hill and visually identifying it in the distance. I think it's a great system that the game takes away and doesn't give the player too much of that information. However, there's currently a problem with it. Currently, if you get within 800 meters of I think, a larger structure or area, you get a mark on the compass. And the problem is you cannot turn it off. And not sure if a developer is going to see that video, or perhaps somebody who sees the video can suggest to the developers, because I'm not sure where to post it. The game should give the players the option to turn off these markers on the compass and to turn them off separately on the scanner. So as a player, so I'm not automatically, if I'm intersecting an 800-meter bubble, I don't want the game to tell me walk in this direction to find something. I want to do it with my own eyes. Just walk up a hill, look at something in the distance, and see if it's worth traveling towards it. Also, one more thing about the size of the area that you can play in. Okay, so if you open this map, notice you zoom out, that's the local area map. It has a boundary. Notice here the height map basically stops at those edges. And I measured it, and I think it's 16 by 16 kilometers, which is, I think, 4 times the Skyrim map, and 4 times the Fallout 4 main map, which means I think all of the main map of Skyrim would probably fit into this square. So there's a lot of things you can discover on a 16 by 16 kilometer square. But the game world isn't seamless, obviously. However, I would say, it's like a theater stage that supports the main Bethesda gameplay. And if you don't look around the edges too much, I don't think it's that much of a problem that the game world is basically in tiles like that. And in this part of the video, I'd like to show you how exploration works on the smaller scale. Like, can you still examine every detail of a room and loot it? And I think Bethesda also preserved that from previous games, and I think they even improved it. Okay, so now this is the deserted robotics lab, and the sandstorm's coming up, and the sun's about to set. Okay, now about loading screens and interiors. This game has both things. It has locations where you go inside, and it has a loading screen, and also has locations that are inside buildings, but the interior is not a separate place you load in, so it has both. As you can see here, the loading time is about 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, now here's how amazing the small-scale exploration is. Okay, so let's look at this room. The one thing I love about Bethesda games, that they never fell for that stupid thing like other games where you press on a button and it highlights everything in the room that you can pick up. But the game has it with the scanner that helps you, but usually I don't use it at all. I just play like I would play Fallout 4. I think that adds so much to the exploration gameplay, because you use your own eyes to identify something that's possibly interesting, then you walk up to it, and you check if it's actually something you'd pick up. So you are rewarded, or sometimes not rewarded, for using your own sense of space and just looking at things. Okay, so for example, here you got the book. Take book. Sit down. And here's a really cool innovation in this game. Notice in previous Bethesda games, you had like these lockers, and you would open them, or just look at them, you would already see like what's in the container. Oh, in this game, you open it, and it's a physical container in which other containers or things can be. Okay, so look at this. Look at it. I think that's a pretty amazing. It looks mundane, but I think it's a pretty amazing achievement or improvement from the previous games, where you could just go to like a locker and just click through it. So you can actually open it, and then it's like a new little loot box you can carefully examine. I think it's one of the best parts for me in these games. I remember in Oblivion, I would just sneak around and in casts at night and look for interesting things to steal. Okay, see here, and then of course you got that looks like an interesting item. First I have to open it, a mannequin. Apparently you can put things on the mannequin to, I guess, to save them. And notice this table here. It's absolutely packed with random items you can grab. Okay. Now if you use the scanner, notice almost everything you see on this table you can pick up. You can check you can loot the corpse. And sometimes there's also a computer you can use. Get books. And you got a safe you can unlock. And another set of lockers. And notice those are actually different locker models. Which means they put at least 2 different locker models into the same room. And I think that's amazing. So it's not like the whole game having the same lockers. Which means that, I mean, that's the only place I explored so far in the game. There's possibly different styles of furniture, different styles of lockers, and I think this was always like a core experience for me in a Bethesda game. That I can touch everything I want. I can go into every room, I can kill the boss and get the loot chest at the end of the dungeon. But also can just go to the entrance room, look under the table if there's something interesting for me. And the game even does it on the outsides, which I won't show right now, but sometimes there's like one of those structures, and you have like these small auxiliary things, like an oil tank or on some concrete fundament. And sometimes if you look on the ground, you see like found a pack of milk just lying there, like scattered just randomly on the thing. And I think it's pretty amazing because the game rewards you for just looking at things yourself, walking up to it and checking it out.